The samurai did not win because of the sword he carried. They won because of the mind that guided the sword. Their battles were guided by a daily practice of discipline, clarity, and ruthless honesty with the self. This video is not about romanticizing armor. It's a practical manual for anyone who wants to become steady under pressure, decisive when it counts, and calm in the eye of chaos. If you want to master your inner battlefield, you must first accept a simple truth. External victories follow internal mastery. This truth is not mystical. It's a rule you can train. We'll move from mindset to method, from philosophy to daily practice. We'll borrow lessons from Bushido, translate them into modern neuroscience and habit design, and give you concrete drills you can use from today. First, clarify what the samurai mindset actually is. At its core, it is 4 commitments. 1. Clarity of purpose. 2. Emotional discipline. 3. Ritualized training. And 4. Calibrated presence. Clarity of purpose answers. Why do you fight? Without a living answer, every battle is exhausting. Emotional discipline answers. How do you respond when things go wrong? Ritualized training answers. What do you practice every day until it becomes reflex? Calibrated presence answers. How do you remain calm while acting quickly? Those are not slogans. They are operational categories. Now, the psychology. Modern science shows that automatic behavior is shaped by cues, repetition, and reward. The samurai engineered their environment, their dojo, their routine, the structure of ritual, to make disciplined responses automatic. You must do the same. Remove decision friction in areas that matter. Design cues that trigger skillful action. Reward the process, not just the result. Next, emotional regulation. The warrior's advantage is not absence of feeling, but mastery of response. Neuroscience confirms that the amygdala reacts quickly to threat. Prefrontal cortex regulates that reaction if trained. In practice, this means breathing, naming the feeling, and choosing one small, deliberate action. The samurai paused before reacting. They breathed and acted from strategy, not from reactivity. Do this. When anger or fear rises, take a 5-count box breath. Name the sensation out loud, anger or fear. Then commit to one small productive move. Open the document. Speak the sentence. Step toward the gym. Naming weakens the limbic surge and creates cognitive space. Next, rituals. Nothing mystical here. Rituals transform intention into habit. The samurai had so many small rituals: dawn practice, blade care, meditation, formal meals. You must create micro-rituals tied to your keystone behaviors. Want to write? Your ritual: sit, close apps, set a 25-minute timer, write 500 words. Want to train? Your ritual: put shoes by the bed, leave a water bottle by the door. Start with 2 minutes of movement. The key is repeatability and context. Repeat enough, and the brain encodes the response into habit. Now time and stress. Real life is noisy. The samurai trained to carry calm inside chaos. 2 practical tools: the pause and the rule of 3. The pause is simply a practiced delay. In any emotionally charged situation, pause for 7 to 12 seconds. Use that pause to breathe and scan for facts versus story. The rule of 3 is a decision heuristic. When overwhelmed, pick 3 possible actions. Pick the one aligned with your mission. Execute. This simplifies uncertainty and prevents paralysis, moving from tactics to identity. The samurai cultivated an identity. I am a person who trains daily. Identity beats goals because identity makes behavior inevitable. So adopt an identity affirmation that is specific and testable. I am the man who sits and writes each morning before checking my phone. Measure it and protect it. Identity formation is supported by self-signaling. Small wins act as evidence you are the person you claim to be. Start microscopic. 3 push-ups, 1 paragraph, 1 5-minute cold shower. Each microaction is a vote for your future self. Discipline compounds. Now focus and attention. The samurai trained attention like a muscle. For modern attention training, use block scheduling and single tasking blocks. The brain's default is distraction. It requires structure to maintain deep work. Create a 90 to 120-minute forge window where you eliminate notifications. Use ambient noise or a ritual playlist and work with a single aim. Complement this with deliberate breaks minus 10 minutes to reset. Don't confuse activity for progress. Measuring output matters. Next, decision hygiene. The samurai rarely wasted energy on trivial choices. Modern life forces choice fatigue. Reduce it by automating low-value choices. Meal plans, morning wardrobe, default calendar blocks. Reserve willpower for high-leverage decisions. Another essential, the practice of voluntary discomfort. The samurai exposed themselves to controlled hardship to expand tolerance. Modern equivalents: cold exposure, fasting, disciplined minimalism in media consumption, or intermittent digital abstinence. Purposefully endure small suffering to grow margin for the real trials. Why this works. Hardship teaches you are tougher than you thought, and rehearse stability under stress. Next, confrontation with fear. The samurai trained fear into usable energy rather than letting it morph into avoidance. Practical drill. Fear listing. Write the fear in explicit terms. What is the worst plausible outcome? Next, rehearse a response plan. The plan dissolves catastrophizing and prepares you to act. Then practice graded exposure. Start with the smallest form of the feared task and slowly escalate. Fear declines with repeated, guided exposure. Now focus on moral courage. The samurai's discipline wasn't cruelty. It was fidelity to an internal standard. Your code must be precise and protective. Write 3 non-negotiables that define who you will be in pressure. Honesty with your word, rigor in your craft, empathy to those you lead. Non-negotiables simplify choice in chaos. They are your compass. Next, solitude and reflection. Samurai meditated, journaled, and sharpened their minds alone. Make solitude structured. Use a 2-part evening ritual. 10 minutes of reflection on one lesson and 5 minutes of planning tomorrow as one highest priority action. This night before planning increases morning clarity dramatically. Another practice, the weekly debrief. Once per week answer 4 questions. What worked? What didn't? What must change? What small habit will I test next week? That iterative loop is how mastery grows. Mentorship and community matter. Samurai trained with masters and peers. You must find people who raise the standard, give honest feedback, and hold you accountable. If you cannot find a teacher, read primary texts and create a small practice group. Accountability multiplies discipline. Now apply to relationships. The samurai balanced ferocity with loyalty. In human terms, be decisive about boundaries and generous in service. Boundaries preserve attention and energy. Generosity builds trust. When you act, do it with quiet confidence, not theatrical aggression. People respect presence more than noise. Next, managing success. The samurai prepared for victory and for loss. When success comes, don't confuse it with identity. Expand capacity to steward success. Increase ritual, enforce humility practices, and stay anchored to purpose. Humility is a strategic asset. It shields you from hubris. Failures are your best teachers if you do not personalize them as judgment on your worth. Now, long-term training. Mastery is a lifetime project. Training must be sustainable, systematic, and joyful enough to persist. Use the compound method. 1% improvements daily accumulate. Track key metrics monthly, not hourly. The samurai trained slowly, daily, with patience. Apply scheduling. Daily micro-practice, weekly rehearsals, quarterly challenges, annual retreats. This cadence balances growth and recovery. Tools and drills you can start today. 1. Morning anchor. Rise 30 minutes earlier. Do 3 minutes of breath work. 1 focused task. 2. Phone exile. 1 2-hour block daily with phone in another room. 3. Cold start. 60-second cold shower 3 times weekly. 4. Rule of 3 decisions. On overload, pick 3 options. Pick the one aligned with mission. 5. Fear list with graded exposures. 6. Night debrief and 1 micro goal for tomorrow. These are minimal but build momentum. A word on ego. Samurai taught that humility is not weakness. Ego-driven action is brittle. Train to notice the impulse to perform for others and substitute the question, does this feed my mission? Answering this returns attention to the mission, reduces vanity, and preserves integrity. Finally, measuring progress. Keep a single-page log. Write date, 1 victory, 1 lesson, 1 tomorrow's action. Over months, that page becomes proof you are becoming the person you claim to be. The art of the samurai mindset is not perfection. It's resilience, iteration, and sacred practice. It's the humility to learn, the courage to act, and the discipline to repeat. If you practice these principles, you will notice calm becomes easier, decisions become cleaner, and pressure sharpens rather than cracks you. That is the modern warrior's life. I want to finish with 3 pledges for you to adopt today. Pledge 1. For 30 days, do 1 micro-ritual every morning before digital noise. Pledge 2. For 7 days, practice the 7-second pause before every emotionally charged reply. Pledge 3. For 90 days, schedule a weekly debrief and commit to 1 habit test. Take them seriously. This is not performative. It's how you build inner infrastructure. If you want a single takeaway, train the small things. Small victories make an unconquerable person. If you commit, results follow. If you want more practical drills, comment samurai and I'll send you a downloadable 30-day training sheet with exact rituals. If this helped, like the video and subscribe for more practical systems to build character, discipline, and focus. Train hard, stay humble, master yourself. The battle you win within is the battle that frees you without.